welcome back. Episode 85, Ocho Cinco, Return of the Mac podcast.
Yeah, Chad Johnson.
That's sad. And he just got engaged. I've seen that.
Congrats to Ocho Cinco.
No more headbutt. Hopefully not.
M.A.C. Moss, Andrew Carl. What's going on this week, fellas? We're snowed in, so we're recording a little early this week. No football on Sunday?
Yeah.
No
Snow
football.
is back. We didn't get one last year. They got us this year.
Yeah.
It's a good little bit, too.
Hell yeah, it's like 7 inches. I mean, it's a little like slushy now. It's not as bad, but it's like 7 inches. It's supposed to keep snowing, or at least snow some more tonight, too.
Yeah.
I'm not a snow person. I'm good. I think
I'm not a
go
snow
ahead
person
and leave
either,
now.
bro. I mean, I like, now I got a truck and shit. I like being able to go out in the snow, but that's still not one of my favorite things to see when I wake up. It's like, oh, fuck.
Just gets in the way.
Yeah, it's one of them
Doesn't
things.
do
It's
anything.
I
like,
shovel all that shit up this morning. I had to shovel a little bit.
Yeah, the best part about the Rona right now is I'm going to just leave it and just let it melt on its own. I'm not going anywhere.
yeah,
Today or tomorrow, I'll be straight.
Man, I went to Walmart to look for ice scraper and a shovel and shit. They all sold out.
Oh, you gotta get them early, bro.
What the fuck?
Bro, people are
They
so
should have them
stupid.
shits, right?
They should.
They should.
But you know how people do once they know snow was coming this week.
People
Bought
are
them all
so
up.
stupid, bro. I went to
Walmart was packed yesterday.
I go to the grocery store every Saturday morning, just part of the routine at this
Right.
point. And I go up there, normal time, just like always. And you literally couldn't find a parking spot.
Yeah, it was like
every spot is taken.
stupid.
And I'm like, yo, I know it's going to snow a lot tomorrow. That's cool. But it's not like we're about to be locked in for 3 days.
Right.
What are we doing?
That's how I guess people
Jesus
have nothing
Christ.
else. It's just
People
panic mode.
overreact.
Major overreaction.
Get all the milk and bread and eggs.
Honestly, yeah, that's what it is. And honestly, I didn't like even correlate the two. Like once I went to the grocery store just to grab a few things. I think I needed to get some shit for my daughter or whatever. But it was not even like food related or anything like that. I needed to get a toy for my niece's birthday, and then like some leggings for my daughter or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna run to Walmart real quick.
I was like, so you went to the grocery store? Or Walmart makes sense.
Yeah, Walmart has everything. There's 100,000 people in that motherfucker. I'm like, yo, what is going on? It's like Saturday morning. It's normally never this packed at this Walmart that I go to. You know, it's like right across the street from my house. Normally never this packed, especially at this time. And I didn't even think about the snow that was coming.
It's a super spreader event going to the grocery store.
Well,
Yeah, for sure. It's just wild. It's just wild. But yeah.
Y'all get into anything this week? Anything wild happen?
I went back to work last week.
Oh, man.
Back to the
Forgot about that.
grind. Back to the grizzine. That wasn't that bad though. Except, early morning, 6:30.
That's tough.
Clocking in.
That's tough.
When you used to, you be staying up and shit.
Sleeping in. I stay up late.
Right.
Sleep in till like 10.
Now life is different.
Yeah, we know not to tell. We know the chat is just going to be me and Carl till about 9 o'clock. And Moss pops in, but now he's the one waking up us early with 7 o'clock message. Yo, check this joint out.
On it. When that dirt dry, I was on that shit early going to work.
It was mad early.
Yeah.
I think it was funny now. So we're going to be doing the pod back on the weekends now after football season.
Right.
So we'll be dropping on Monday mornings. But I thought it was funny that now that you're back to work and have to work on Mondays, now you realize how long of a day Monday is to work and then pod right after. Those days I enjoy podding, but Mondays used to low-key suck to work 8:30 to 5, and then as soon as we get off, start getting set up to record, get it uploaded and stuff. I'm like, yo, it's 10:30. I just sat down for the night. It's a long-ass day.
It's a long day.
I guess, it's a lot of mental, physical. I'm on my feet all day.
Yeah, true.
So it's kind of a little different, but I know y'all working is a little different. Y'all sitting there and working, doing shit like that. So,
No doubt.
But definitely.
It's a bit draining.
We'll work it out.
I think Saturdays will be good again. I was hesitant, but it is what it is. I don't really do much on Saturday. It'll be a good time.
Yes, sir.
So back to work, though. What about you? Anything for you?
No, nothing significant, I guess. Well, I did.
I was gonna say, why you got this smile on your face right now?
No, we booked a trip to New Orleans. So, I'll be there.
Are you going to see your boy Zion in person? You going to a game?
No, I ain't going to a game. Probably won't go to a game anymore. Well, I guess you can't go to a fucking game anyway right now. So but no, I was just planning to chill. Probably do some fun stuff in the area, but eat some good food, man, and just kind of get away. You feel me? For
you
a few
ever
days.
been there?
No, I've never been to New Orleans before.
Me neither. What made you decide to do that?
My girl wants to go. So.
I was just, she was wondering.
Yeah.
I mean, you were going to go somewhere. And
her birthday
decided that.
is on the 14th anyway. So.
Oh, it's a double whammy on Valentine's Day?
Boom.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
Is that
So you
good or
kind of
bad?
knock both out at the same time, though, still.
You can knock both out at the same time, but it's like one of them things you got to, it's the pressure is on. You got to step correct.
It's
You know
got
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
good.
Yeah, right.
It's got to be
You know
like
what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah.
That's
The
tough.
pressure's on, yeah. So it's tough, but it is what it is. It's not. I've dealt with it for a couple of years now, so I know how to maneuver.
Right.
It's not bad, but other than that, I haven't nothing real significant. I started Breaking Bad for the 30th time. I feel like I'm watching that shit again.
Super random. Super random.
So good, man.
It is.
It's so good.
Well, what, you start from the beginning?
Yeah. I started.
Fuck that. If I'm rewatching that show ever, I'm going to start on maybe the season finale of the first season
But
and keep it right.
It's so many things in the beginning that you just forgot that happened. There's little details, and I'm like, oh, this is.
It was so boring.
No, it's really not though. It's very interesting.
I still never watched it.
Now you know.
Really?
Never watched it.
You know what? Breaking Bad.
No, he was just about to
I
say
tried
something.
starting it. I think y'all told me about it, and then y'all was like, it starts off rough. So when I
It's so
started it, I was
boring.
like, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't get into it, so
I
I just cut it
understand.
off.
I understand.
It's the details, bro. Just you gotta pay attention a little bit.
I mean, I
but
hear it's good. I hear it's definitely good.
It's one of the best shows ever.
So this is so random
Yes.
because I think it was earlier today. It might have been last night. I was watching something and I saw the trailer for the upcoming season of Snowfall.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about recording and stuff, and I was like, I don't really think that we should do the episode breakdown each week because it could just ruin it for everybody else that's watching.
No, fuck that.
And well, we need listeners. So if somebody's like, well, I can't listen because they're going to talk about Snowfall. This was what was going through my mind. And I was thinking about, we definitely can't do it because of Carl. Because Carl is the worst spoiler of all time.
What do you mean?
He'll intentionally spoil just to be an asshole.
No,
And then other
that's
times I'll
not
be
true.
like, don't tell me what happened because I haven't watched it yet. I don't want to know. He's like, all right, I won't say nothing. But you will never believe how this dude got killed. And I'm like, I mean, that tells me he got killed. I know you didn't tell me how it happened, but you told me somebody's going to die.
Yeah,
These
you can't
scenarios
with those.
have
You're a
literally never
terrible
happened.
spoiler, bro.
These scenarios have
I mean,
literally
he did
never
drop that
happened.
ghost shit the other day,
On
a couple
purpose.
weeks ago.
I saw it, so y'all gotta see the shit, bro. That's it.
On
That's all I'm
purpose.
saying.
That's-
If I see it, then y'all gotta see it.
He's the
y'all
one.
was gonna see it eventually anyway. I just saw it scrolling down my timeline. So,
That shit crazy.
I'm not going to see it. But you are the worst spoiler.
bro, I haven't spoiled any shows.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that to be true. I don't have
Give me
examples
one. Give me
off
an
the top
example.
of
All
my
right,
head.
there.
I
Okay,
don't.
so
I'm not
so
searching.
the world can see this. These things have never happened.
Man,
These things
I
have
just
never
gave you
happened.
He
one.
just said it
I
once.
just gave
but-
you one.
That one example. That one example.
Even though the
And
show
we don't
ain't
even
even
know if
on
that's
right
true.
now, yeah.
We don't know if that's true.
It might not.
You know, it's just
Look
something
kinda
I saw.
obvious,
I
though.
figured I'd share it with you. And it's specifically the only reason why I shared that moment is because before I said
Don't lie to us,
people
bro.
expose things that's going to happen. They spoil what happens in Power anyway.
Spoil power.
Yeah, so
They
then
do
you-
that shit all the
So
time.
then
by
you
the
did it
way,
on purpose after that.
Ghost surviving a point blank range shot to the chest is way more wilder than Kanan surviving that fire.
Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, how do you know he didn't have a vest on or something? Was he bleeding?
I don't know. They ain't really show no blood. I mean, they got to show it
I
on the
can't
shirt.
remember. Yeah, right. How you know? Maybe.
I don't know.
Ghost always a step
Oh,
ahead. He might have known that shit was coming.
They say Ghost never dies, so maybe they bring him back.
Yeah.
We'll
Power
see.
is trash.
It wasn't bad.
You gotta watch the new season, bro.
It wasn't bad,
Tariq
bro.
getting it
I'm good.
in college.
But I'm interested. I will watch, at least start the next one.
He getting to work off with the study papers and shit. Got a
Yeah.
whole system going on.
And that,
If Power had ended better, the original show, I would have gave this one a chance, even with low expectations.
You
But
didn't
I
like that.
I binge watched Power and quit before the end of the final season. I was like, this is so dumb. I'm just going to read what
The
happened
last
the last
season was
4
terrible.
episodes.
but wouldn't you agree that most people have that like feeling of like the last season or the last episode of their favorite show was bad?
I don't want to say
Like, most
bad,
people think that.
but a lot of shows trail off towards the end for sure. Like the quality is not there, and you're kind of watching to just see what ends up happening.
Like Dexter.
To finalize.
Dexter's a great show. But towards the end,
that's
it's
a
like,
bad. It's a bad example and a good example because that show is maybe the worst last 2 seasons of all time.
I mean, it's not.
It was terrible.
Terrible compared to how good it was originally.
That's another one that I didn't watch the last 2 seasons.
On the flip side, Ozark, when they said this the last season coming up, and it's been fired, so they can't fuck up this last season.
This is the 4th one, right?
Yeah.
See, when you stick to I feel like we talked about this before, but when you stick to 4 to 5 seasons, it's money. When you try to get that 6th, 7th, 8th season, and it's like, oh, now you're stretching for the extra dollars.
That shit out,
Like Breaking Bad, that shit ends perfectly because it's 5 seasons.
Right.
Ends perfectly. It's not stretched out at all.
And the first season was like 6 episodes.
Yeah,
it was short anyway.
Yeah, I'm already in season 2, by the way. Yeah. So it's like, I didn't even notice. It's wild, for sure.
No doubt.
For sure.
Well, speaking of power, there was a change in power this week.
Ooh, like the segue.
Bars.
Like the segue.
You know, I nerded out again just like I did on that Logic shit last week. I started looking we're talking about the stock market this week. Early in the week, I started seeing stuff about GameStop like going through the roof. And I didn't really care at that point because I don't really do stocks at all. Mm-hmm. But I kept hearing stuff about it. And then I started to look into like what really happened. And then I was like fully entrenched at that point. I was into it. Did you ever get into looking at any of this stuff?
I looked up a little bit of it. Yeah, I'm not super into stocks and stuff like that. But I mean, I thought it was just it's a funny story. And then I think it's funny about like all of the people that you see who think they're financial advisors.
Yo, I hate it, bro.
And like
everybody,
Wall Street stockbrokers. Yeah, right.
That's the worst part of it.
That's the funny part of
Everybody say, I had me some of that Bitcoin and I got some of that. Like, all right, I don't know what the fuck y'all doing.
Every average Joe that's got 75 cents in the stock market thinks that they know what's going on at this point in time.
Yeah.
The general idea, really super simplified version, because I don't even fully understand it, is the big billionaire hedge funds on Wall Street had shorted these old ass companies like GameStop, Nokia, AMC Theaters, BlackBerry, the whole gang of them. And what they end up doing is they go on those TV shows, like the stock trading type TV shows, and say these stocks are expected to plummet. And then when they say stuff like that, everybody freaks out and they drop even more and they end up being right.
Right.
So they're kind of manipulating things to make their bet correct, and then they cash out a whole gang of money because they bet against those stocks. So these dudes
on the flip side, the people that make those claims that something is wrong, you can bet on stocks to drop, and you can make money off that the opposite way.
Yeah,
so when they do that, they're making themselves money by doing that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Exactly. Right. They're setting themselves up to make money.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with like betting against the stock, but the way they do it is a little bit grimy, in that they know how they're about to get rich off of other people not knowing what's really going on.
Yes, sir.
So a group of people on Reddit decided, well, they I guess were researching and found public records of these companies that have been shorted, and saw how big they were shorted.
The Reddit group is called Wall Street Bets.
Yeah, okay. Wall Street Bets. Okay. So they get a group of people together to start buying the stock, basically, to make the price go up.
Like 2 million people.
And really?
Yeah, that's how many people was in there. It's like 7 million in there now, but
right.
It's like 2 million people in there. But it's still a lot.
Another part of protecting or hedging against your bet against the stock is to purchase some too, to kind of cancel it out.
Right.
So as the people were driving up the price, the hedge funds also had to buy some, which drove up the price even more. And you end up with a stock that was $18 per share a week or two ago, that got up at one point to like 475.
Oh, shit.
For a GameStop did.
Wow.
Shit. So the long story short, the hedge funds ended up there. I believe I saw that there was a total of $70 billion loss in total, not for one particular company, but $70 billion because of what they ended up doing.
The rich owners pissed, boy, because they got to pay that out.
Yeah,
it comes out of their pocket. They have to pay out them stock sales or whatever.
Yeah, at least one of them that was, I guess, the biggest contributor had to borrow from another hedge fund just to be able to meet their need right now and not be like completely out of business.
I seen this one. I forgot what his name was, but some rich business owner or whatever. He was like, "This is an attack on business owner and rich." I'm like, attack? Y'all good? Like y'all about to be poor now because y'all got to pay out these stocks.
They're really mad because people wised up and
$70 billion loss.
But I mean, isn't this an example of when people come together, how they can make a change.
Power numbers, tables turn.
Right, but I mean, we look at it. This is on a small scale, and we're talking about the stock market. But I mean, technically, this could happen with anything, government, or if people come together. But of course, the world's it's structured so that people don't. That people are always divided and things like that. So
that's exactly why I found it so interesting, or why I got so excited with it, though.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm always have been in favor of capitalism, free market type stuff. I think you let it play out, and there is a way to kind of counteract something when it gets too far one way.
Yeah.
And this was like the exact example of a bunch of regular people coming together and doing something to swing it back the other way.
Yeah.
So, are there any examples of this happening in the past? Like, did these people just know
Not to this magnitude,
to do this, or were they just thinking like this is something like completely new?
It's always been possible to do it. They just never been able to have 2 million people do it at the same time.
Well, I mean, this is probably just the benefit of the technology that we have to be able to connect so quickly with people from across the world.
You can spread the word on shit faster.
Right.
It's partially that, and then Robinhood is a relatively new app, which is a lot of people were trading off of was Robinhood. And Robinhood, they initially came in the game as a way for common people to trade stocks.
Yeah.
So before that, I would say, I don't know this for sure, but I would say probably 10 years ago, it was probably not common for any regular people to be trading at all.
No.
You might have stocks through an investor that you've got or something that does your taxes, but
that's it.
It's not like you're doing day trading the way that people can now. You can have a regular job and on your lunch break go day trade if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So that has definitely made it more possible. So I think that's probably why this is the first time.
That's an ironic name for the app, right?
It is. Exactly.
It's that's hilarious.
You see that Fab joint I posted the other day?
No.
I forgot the line. He said something about, they was robbing the hood and then da-da-da. Some shit. I forgot that I went, but that shit was funny.
But then they put it in and made the game stop.
Yeah.
The game stop.
But I've been seeing a lot of those tweets and stuff saying that Robinhood was supposed to be to steal from the rich and give to the poor. But the next step of this whole situation is, I believe it was Wednesday, once it started to really get out of hand.
They put a stop to that
Robinhood, right? And I believe a few other apps just froze the accounts pretty much to where people that had the stock could only sell it, which would kind of allow the hedge funds to get out from under what they're at, or at least cut their losses at that point in time.
Basically forcing people out, basically.
Yeah. So at this point, there is a lot of people pissed at Robinhood, and I hope that the next step of this to continue the people joining forces to take down the evil company kind of thing is hopefully after this is done, everybody leaves Robinhood and says fuck their app, because they need users,
right?
And they have more users than ever before because everybody tried to jump in on this.
Yeah.
But if once this dies down, everybody's like, Robinhood takes advantage of people. Hopefully they just go out of business or something. I mean, take a major hit.
Well, what do they think necessarily though? You think that this is powered by major companies, I'm sure. So they're going to side with, the man. They're going to side with
the businesses that help.
Right. It's just, that's the way it's going to go.
I think I posted that in the group. The dude, the CEO of Robinhood, he was explaining it and shit, or explaining it. So he was like, no, we didn't do this because the companies told us that we should, da-da-da. We just did it because we thought it was fair. I'm like, no, you're full of shit.
No, because you didn't do it because you thought it was fair. Because this is fair. It's not illegal whatsoever, right?
It's even worse than just fair. Robinhood said that they disabled it because too many common people basically said people don't know what they're doing and they're going to end up getting hurt. So it was like, we're protecting you type shit.
Bullshit.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever
invest
heard.
Their money. They know what they're doing. You can't.
A lot of people don't know what they're doing, but that's a part of the game.
Yeah,
you win some, you lose some. In this situation.
Right. It's a gamble, right?
Yeah, exactly.
People. The thing is that people know that they can win right now, so that's why they don't. It's like if the machine is broken, I guess in a casino or something, where it's not even necessarily the machine is broken, but it's kind of like that scenario where they can say like, "No, you really didn't win anything because we found there was an error in our machines."
Right.
Like, no, motherfucker, I can't. That's not my problem. You should have detected the error before I got there. You
on
know
the flip side, when the stock market crashes, they ain't trying to protect people.
right.
So don't try to protect us when the shit is up. Like, what type of shit is that?
Y'all didn't know it was gonna crash, so we're gonna let you keep this money. Next time, be more careful.
It's only because people are winning. It's like it has nothing to do. You're not trying to babysit these people or protect these people.
Yeah.
You just see that people are coming up off of this, so can't have that. And then, so I mean, what's to stop it from happening again in the future? Or you think they're gonna develop some kind of
probably
law?
They ain't gonna let this shit happen again.
Nah, so all the big guns have been asking for the SEC, which is like the commission over all the trading and stuff, to establish the SEC, and they're asking the White House to establish new guidelines and rules that kind of limits people from being able to do some of the stuff that they're doing, whatever. I don't really know what's going to come of that. Obviously, they're not going to let it stand to where this becomes a regular thing.
Right.
But from what I've listened to, if they put in certain guidelines that would prevent the hedge funds from being able to do what they've done in their side of the scenario as well, it might not be a bad thing.
Right.
But it is going to limit the small guys from being able to just hold somebody hostage like this again.
I mean, I feel like it's fair if they do it on both sides. You know what I'm saying? But that's
afterwards,
if they do it on both sides.
Yeah. But they have to though. Otherwise, it's going to be like, I mean, what can you say? You know what I'm saying? You can't stop these people from buying the stocks, if you're not stopping them from driving the price down on it. So,
right.
I don't know how that's going to be done. Honestly, it's much too complicated for me to think about because I don't.
It is up there.
Get involved in stocks whatsoever. So I think I got like 2, and it's just like very little money invested.
I don't have any. Look at you.
Yeah, I just started dabbling earlier last year, and I just picked my spots. I don't really like them, like the joints they're doing now, where it's like a quick joint you gotta get in and get out shit. I like the joint that I know is gonna progressively get better over time, and I know I'm gonna make money when my joint's sitting in there.
You went on Tesla?
No.
Tesla's huge, right? That's the biggest thing.
Hella expensive.
Right. It's a share.
One share.
Yeah, if you didn't get in there early, like you gonna pay like $400-$500 a stock to get in there. Like,
I mean, it's just wish you had like stocks. You just wish you had like a time machine,
right?
6 years ago, if I'd have invested in this shit, I'd be
like that Bitcoin boy.
Yeah, Bitcoin, all of that
crazy.
shit. Yeah.
But
the last thing that I thought was really cool about this whole situation is the amount of people that came together on this one subject.
Yeah.
There is almost nothing that anybody is united on at this point in time, specifically. And there was like the most left-leaning Democrat senators like AOC up in New York that was saying this is ridiculous. These hedge funds shouldn't be able to do this. And then you had like Ted Cruz in Texas, like Mr. Trumper, saying the exact same thing. Like he tweeted, "I agree," or some shit like that.
Right.
Like everybody's against these people. Nobody likes Wall Street. They're just known to be like a grimy.
Game.
Yeah, they're known to be grimy.
For sure.
Right. I mean, they're worse. I mean, they're criminals as well too, kind of on the same level. It's just finessing.
Yeah, they're bending rules where they can get away with it.
Right. I guess the word is shiesty.
Money.
You know what I'm saying?
Best way to hide money. Investing in the stocks. Best way to hide money.
I'm really shiesty. Seriously though, like it's I don't know, dirty game, like you said. I'm sure it's a lot of backstabbing and shit like that goes on.
I mean, any of those, I know it's a movie, but any of those movies that you watch, Wolf of Wall Street is...
I wonder what it's like now, though, because, I mean, you know how in the movies, like, is the stock market or whatever they're at or whatever, Wall Street.
Trading
it's
floor.
like, it's like a wild place. Motherfuckers be like all over the phone and yelling and screaming and shit, passing around stuff. Yeah. But nowadays, it's like, it's coronavirus, so it's like, are y'all doing this shit from home, like pacing
screaming
in your living room? You know what I'm saying? It's just wild. I don't know. It's things I think about.
Did you say that you had something Bitcoin related? Was there something that took place with that?
Okay. Because Bitcoin jumped up a lot in the last month too.
Yeah.
Like up $20,000 and then it went down 10, and that was crazy. But I think that was more so because there was a lot of money being pumped in during that time. So shit just boosted. That's kind of the same thing. That's how it works.
Yeah, from what I've been hearing with Bitcoin, anytime there's like any kind of big change within the world or the country, like the election made it shoot up really high. And then this situation made it go up again really high.
Yeah.
Because anytime people get scared of like the stock market being shaky, it's like, oh, let's invest in something that is outside of the stock market, or at least not directly involved with it. I don't really know a lot about
Isn't
that.
it a story about some dude that lost like a fortune in Bitcoin or some shit?
Because he sold it early?
Probably.
A lot of people that did that.
Not even he sold it early. I don't know the story exactly, but I think I saw it recently.
I'm
Some
sure
dude
there
losing
is.
like 200,000 or something like that in Bitcoin. Some regular guy.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he was like, his statement about it was like that. I don't know. He was kind of like humble about it, like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, fuck that, bro. That's a
Like an
huge
old
deal.
story like 10, 15 years ago, some guy bought like a pizza with his Bitcoin, and if he would have kept it, he would have been like a millionaire now.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's like,
Damn, that's an expensive pizza.
But it won't then.
Right,
it was just enough for a pizza, how much Bitcoin he had, but if he would have saved it, he'd be a millionaire now.
I knew somebody that had got in fairly early. I want to say when it was like valued at like $2,000 or $3,000, and I think that they might have had between like 3,000 to 5,000 in it.
Right.
So if you think about that right now, I believe it's around 34,000, 36,000.
Yeah.
So you're talking about 12 times whatever you invested.
Right, facts.
So they would be looking at like a $70,000 profit if they were still in. I don't believe he still has his money in it anyway, but yeah, I mean, if you get into something at the right time and got the patience to wait it out and the money to just let it sit there, you could go up.
You gotta read a lot of shit to know what to get in on at the right, you know.
And even
like,
when you know,
you don't fucking
you don't know.
You taking
They're scared of it, thinking of investing their money into something because they don't know what it is.
Yeah,
so I understand
that's a
that
great
too.
point.
I mean, but that's why you still have these like applications and stuff now where you can kind of protect yourself.
That's why I say
And then
diversify.
you don't have to put that much money into it. So
No.
especially smaller companies, if you're just reading up on stuff and shit like that to see what might gain traction and be the next Tesla or some shit like that in the next 10 years. So
that's the part that I really don't understand, and I'm gonna look into it eventually.
Oh, you see, fucking Master P got a car coming out, like called the Tryon or some shit like that.
Oh, this nigga's elite.
Yeah, he's got a fucking car coming out. He's partnering with some company.
Is it an electric car?
I'm pretty sure.
I believe that's
it
what I
is.
heard.
That's the future.
Pretty
though.
sure.
They're getting gas and oil up out of it.
Far along? Is that like a brand new idea?
Apparently, it's supposed to be coming out like within the next couple years, or at least like next year or two, or some shit like that. Like the car is already, I think, ready to go.
Right.
Like I think they've already got like the prototype at least, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, ready to go. It's just about like Master P just putting money into it and shit like that to get it mass produced. But it's supposed to be some great car. I don't know. I forgot the like details about it, but the shit's supposed to rival Tesla and shit like that. So maybe that's the next thing to jump on to is Tryon. I think that's what it's called. I can't
Future reference, anything fossil fuel or electric car based, invest in it. That's the future.
Oh, yeah,
Everything
I mean, that makes
lane
sense.
gonna keep going up because they trying to get gas and oil and that type of shit up out of here.
There you go.
Well, you need more. I just wonder, what do you have these electric cars? What the fuck can you do? I mean, because what if you run out of fucking battery power while you're out? It's just not that many stations.
So you're not just gonna run out of battery somewhere, bro.
That's what I always think about too.
This is my worst fear about getting one of these things. I don't see any charging stations. I don't see any of those available.
What if I need to go to
There's
DC?
things
What
in
if I'm
place so you
3
don't
hours
get in
into
that
my
position.
trip?
You know what I'm saying? There's
It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be.
What do you mean?
But at the end of the day, it's not gonna be any worse than you running out of gas somewhere.
I know where I can find a gas station. These are readily available anywhere. A fucking charging station. What do you just pull up at somebody's house like, hey, bro, can I use your...
Got a USB?
Right. What the fuck are you supposed to do for those? That's my biggest fear.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all.
And you would think that would be something that...
I'm sure a lot of people felt that same way when they introduced motor cars too.
Probably so. Probably so.
Yeah, maybe, but you would think these things would start growing. Like when you see a new gas station put up, like a new Sheets or some shit like that, you don't also see them having a charging station also built into that. You know what I'm saying? You don't see these evolutions occurring. So it's like, even though these cars are being built.
It's coming
every day. But maybe it's just something I'm blind to because I don't own one.
Right.
So
And
not
then,
widespread, and everybody's still driving.
Right,
motor
when you
cars.
own something, things just like all of a sudden you see now. You know what I'm saying? Like if you buy a Honda now, you see the same Honda all the fucking time. So maybe it's just because I don't know. Maybe it's one right next door to my house and I've never noticed it.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's the move.
Well, that was the excitement for me this week. That was really the only thing that I got into or was interested in, other than our usual sports or music. What do we have music related?
Durkio World, The Voice.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked it. I thought that was
deluxe on it.
it's one of the better deluxes I've heard. Because, I mean, it does literally just sound like an extension of the album. Like, the feel is pretty much the same. And it's a lot of tracks. What is it like?
About 12 of them, I think.
Oh, shit, I didn't even listen to the whole thing then. I think I only got like 6 or 7 tracks in. So
I want to say the first song, do you know what the first song on the album was?
Red Man.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, there's only 12 then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so I mean, but in total, that's 28 between the two. It was good. I liked it. I saw something today where somebody said, I forget how he worded it, but basically said, Durk misses a lot from me, but when he hits, it's like fire.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Okay. There's a lot of Durk that I listen to and I'm like, I just don't care about this at all. I don't get this song or don't like this song. But the ones that I like I'll just listen to over and over and over. He's mad really catchy on the ones that I really like.
Right.
Do y'all feel that way at all, or you think he's more consistent than that? Consistent was the word that I saw.
He's definitely gotten a lot better. I mean, he's been around for about 10 years now. He started in like 2010. He's gotten better every year. Every project he puts out has gotten progressively better. But he has his own lane. He doesn't go out of his box too much. He stays doing what he does, and I think he's just in his mode right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely feel like he's applying pressure to the game right now. I think he's climbing up the charts.
Putting himself in that Lil Baby, Roddy situation right there. They all in that same tier right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think Baby and Roddy might be a tier above still, just like off of like chart success.
Could they be ranked higher but in the same tier?
No, I mean, I think I don't think Durk's had that chart success yet where I would put him in that tier with those two guys. Like those guys I think have each had, top 5 number 1 songs on the chart, top 5 songs on the chart.
Drake joint, but
yeah. I mean, saying just themselves alone, we know why Durk shit was a top 5, even if it was. I'm not sure if that song even was.
Number 1.
Yeah, that was like a clear one.
Yeah, but that's the reason why I wouldn't put him in there in that category.
I feel that,
but I do like Durk though. I
think by the end of the year, I don't think you'll be able to say that. But I feel you.
Maybe not.
That's reasonable at this point too.
Hey, he doing his job campaigning right now. He got him a Cole Bennett video. Got the lyrical lemonade.
That's crazy. That shit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why more rappers don't do that. I mean, I know he probably want to collaborate with like hotter artists, but I'm sure he's doing it for a check. You know what I'm saying? So if your money right, then it doesn't really matter.
Talking about doing a video with him?
Yeah. I don't understand why
that's
more
another thing I
artists
respect about Durk too. He's not giving you a whole bunch of features on his projects.
Like, you're not supposed to.
28 songs. It's like 3 or 4 songs with features.
I appreciate that. I just want to hear you on your album.
I wish it was more
your album
features
should only have 3, like maximum 3 features.
Right.
If you got more than that, then it's just about to be a woman singing on the hooks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear you on your albums. That's very important for me. Otherwise, make that shit a mixtape if you're gonna have it all a bunch of features. What the fuck you DJ Khaled or something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or
I'm sure you could get Drake on the album. Everybody, all the hottest artists could be on the album if you wanted them on there.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I want to hear you specifically. But yeah, I mean, back to my point though, I don't understand why artists, like, if you're an up and coming artist, instead of paying $50K or whatever for a feature from one of these to get like exposure, no artists do that. Why don't you do a Cole Bennett video instead? That's my point.
Oh, well, I was hoping I could find it, but I couldn't find the picture. I thought I had saved it. The list of videos that he did last year, he had posted it at the end of 2020.
Yeah.
The list was retarded.
your views gonna go up, bro.
The people he worked with, the songs that he specifically did. I feel like if people could get a video with him, they would. I don't know if it's that easy anymore at this point in time.
He's too hot right now.
I think you got to be.
He's always been
be
hot,
the best of the best.
We're talking about a dude got 17 million subscribers on YouTube, but he's always been hot. He's been hot for a long time. But to me, I mean, I've seen him work with guys who like younger artists. It's necessarily like they're popping, but not like huge. And I'm sure it's for the money. So that's why I don't know why. That's not a strategy for more artists. It's just like, hey, I'm going to hop on his channel or get a video done by him instead of saying, I'm going to try to pay, Drake for this feature or, such and such for a feature.
Like both would work.
Yeah, if I could
get a Drake feature.
If you get the Drake feature, I think I'd take the Drake feature first. But I understand what you're saying as far as if the feature is Thug or something like that. No disrespect, but he's not Drake. I think you could maybe make the case that doing the video route would be a better play in this day and age because videos are.
And I'm not saying that Drake is not as Drake's name rings way more. There's a lot of people who fucking don't know who Cole Bennett is, but they'll know what the Lyrical Lemonade video sign is, whatever.
Right.
But I feel like you can get more exposure by hollering at him versus I feel like that Drake feature might be thrown by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get some people that listen to it, but not as many as you
Drake
would.
Feature doesn't have the cachet as it used to.
No, or anybody's. That's what I'm saying. It'll literally have to be a hot song. Like it's gonna have to ring off. Still, people aren't gonna play it just necessarily because Drake is on it. I mean, I guess some people are.
Yeah, I think that's
people
exactly
are gonna that Lyrical Lemonade stamp though. Like you gonna get 2 million views that day. That's a guarantee on your video. That's not a guarantee if you put Drake on as a feature.
I completely disagree.
It's not a guarantee.
You're wrong about that.
Yeah,
it's not a guarantee.
I think you had a good point, as in that is a good idea to try to go that route as like maybe spend more on that than a feature. But going the Drake route, I think you're completely wrong.
You have to be.
I don't think it's like a one or the other. If you get a Drake feature, you can get a Cole Bennett video too.
No, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, if this is your shot, if you want to like level up, take it to the next level as an up and coming artist, like that's the route that I think I would go rather than pay a lot of money for. I think because that is more like destined for success. You know that you're gonna get X amount of views if I put it on this platform.
Let me bring this up. Like I said, I don't disagree with your point in whole, but you're talking about the amount of views that you're going to get on YouTube specifically.
Right.
A feature is going to be heard on YouTube, all Spotify, Apple, Tidal, anywhere else that plays music, radio stations.
That's a fact.
I think you're wrong about the reach as far as the amount of people.
But I think people use more YouTube than any of that, especially young people. And then if they hear it on YouTube, then they're going to play it on these other platforms anyway. I think YouTube is the beacon for all of this stuff. I mean, seriously though, like that's where a lot of people.
I think you're targeting your younger audience. I would agree that maybe the younger crowd uses YouTube more than anybody else. But I can tell you that I'm not hearing a song for the first time on YouTube, generally speaking.
Right.
And I think
people like visuals,
I think people on my age
you're definitely going to hear the song and then go look for the video.
Right.
But I don't ever see the video first before I even heard the song.
See, I think it's different now for most like the youth or I guess the youth is the majority of the people in the world, I assume. So
for real, the only time I go look for videos if I see a clip on Instagram or Facebook or something. Yeah. Then I'm like, oh, check this video out.
No, I mean, I see most of my music that I see is on YouTube first.
But you be on the YT though.
I'm saying that's most people.
You have the mindset of a child. No, you think everybody thinks like you.
No, this
is every conversation that we have that gets based around younger crowd, middle crowd, and older crowd. You assume that the younger crowd is everything and the rest doesn't matter. No,
I'm not saying that it doesn't matter at all. Of course, somebody's listening to the radio, and of course, like I said, you guys are maybe seeing the videos first or not the videos, but hearing the music first on these streaming services.
Yeah.
But YouTube is like It's the thing nowadays. Like YouTube is what the driving
massive.
force.
It's massive,
right?
but it's one compared to 7 other platforms combined. There's no way
The goal is that you should spread across them all.
But
that's the goal.
Right? Yeah,
I
I mean, all of these songs. We're talking about major songs. They're gonna be on all platforms, but the probably the most used or the where you'll get your shit the most like exposure is going to be on YouTube. That's all I'm saying.
I already told you. I agree with your initial point, and as usual, as you continued on, I don't think you're right anymore. But I think for a younger guy like Durk, he already, like, the majority of his fan base is going to be younger people anyway. So I think you can make a case that...
But that's for all of these artists, though.
For the younger ones, sure, agreed.
Well, I mean, any of them. I mean, like, Drake still...
J. Cole's primary fan base is not younger people.
Yeah,
they're like our age.
Maybe not, but J. Cole's not like necessarily dropping a ton of videos and shit like that anyway.
Right. I don't know what you're arguing with me about. I agree with you that the younger people's fans are going to be mostly younger people. I'm saying if you're trying to extend your fan base to pick up me and people a little bit older than me, we're going to get caught on Spotify and Apple. And these
what about the baby?
Same.
He's an older guy. But he thrives off of YouTube. That's what I'm saying.
How is he?
He's not an older guy, but
I mean, he's like our age.
Just popped.
He's 2 years ago. I'm just saying though. Still, but that's the game, bro. I'm just saying that's the game nowadays. I think back to my original point. It's just that that video, get your lyrical lemonade tag on a video. I think gets you further than paying a feature to a feature for a major artist in 2021. That's my only point.
All right. I mean, I think we discussed that point.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting idea. I like your idea. You're wrong about being bigger than Drake, but it's cool.
I didn't say that,
you
though.
did.
I did not say. I just
Point blank said that the Drake feature would not be as big as putting the lyrical lemonade. But we've done this for 5 minutes.
It's different, though. But I would say it's different if you can get on a Drake song. Then that's bigger than getting Drake on your own song.
Of course. And they're both bigger than getting a lyrical lemonade tag.
That is negative.
I mean, the goal is to get the views on your page, not on the lyrical lemonade page. You want the goals to be on your YouTube page. You want the views to be on your YouTube page, not on somebody else.
I mean, I guess that's why maybe artists don't do that. But
exactly, they want the views on their page. They want the subscribers and the views.
You still get paid for the streaming of
your. Lemonade get to check for them views if that shit goes.
Yeah, right. But you gonna get paid for the streaming of your songs, and then you getting the exposure from that video. It's a hand in hand thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's strictly for a beginning artist, is what I'm saying. Like, if you want to get that initial exposure, kickstart your career, that's worth the gamble to me.
How do you think Kanye feels about Kanye Crazy?
I think he loves it.
I don't know.
I could see it either way.
I can see him feeling a way about it, maybe.
Kanye know he crazy. It's not an insult.
I don't know
if he would call himself crazy, but
I think he would.
He did.
But I think there's a difference between I can say that, I'm out there. I'm a little bit crazy. Somebody else says you're
makes
crazy.
It better.
Yeah, I do too.
Because he's paying homage to all the Kanye moments we've seen over the years.
And I think it's special because you don't see a lot of these young, like, Chicago artists even acknowledging that Kanye West is the guy who really kicked the door open. I mean, I guess
think that's true. I think they all acknowledge Kanye as being that guy.
Not musically.
I
mean,
the newer guys?
Huh?
The newer guys?
Yeah.
Polo G.
Kanye did that jump with the his name.
Then Polo G said Lil Durk opened the door.
That blew up out of Chicago.
Chief Keef.
When he did that shit with Chief Keef, that was a big deal. Like,
but I'm talking about Kanye doing it with Chief Keef.
I'm talking about newer now. At this point, Chief Keef thing was
like 10 years ago. Yeah, it was a minute.
I'm saying, like, that was like.
I'm just curious. I don't have a stand on this.
All these rappers from Chicago now started from that point. From Chief Keef. That's where you get G Herbo and Lil Durk and Lil Reese and all these guys.
All right, that's what I was going to be my next question. Who are the new Chicago guys? Do you think G Herbo, does he have love for Kanye? Is that something?
I'm just saying, you've never.
I think so.
These people have never mentioned it in their music, or really, you don't hear them pay homage to Kanye in their music. And maybe I'm missing something I haven't heard.
I think also because they don't make the same music Kanye makes. Like Chance gonna give it up more to Kanye because he's in that lane of what Kanye does.
But he's not from Chicago, right?
Chance is from Chicago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he says that's like mad lyrics.
Damn, why you didn't know that, bro?
I didn't know that. That's why I didn't know that.
Oh, because he went out of drill rap. Exactly. So
I thought he was from
drill
Detroit or
rappers,
something.
I'm sure they acknowledge Kanye, but they're not looking to do what Kanye does because they don't make that music.
That's fair.
I get that.
Maybe. I don't know. I just don't. You would think you would hear him, something about Kanye more, but
I think you're right though that the video does present it in a more
it's dope.
Respectful way than like just hearing the words.
More so than just calling Kanye crazy.
It's dope because each little scene or whatever it takes you back to. It's like a time machine. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he put on the glasses with and what's that from that video?
Right. That he make me stronger.
Yeah. So I mean, going through the little timeline, man. It's a good
Taylor
shit.
Swift moment. The Bound 2.
Runaway Love.
Runaway. Got the answer sway.
That was good. That was good.
He said the line in the song.
I hated that he put the little pump joint in there because I just thought that video was retarded to begin with the big.
It was,
big
but that was
suits.
funny.
But it's iconic.
I guess I hated that
iconic.
song. I hated
that was
the
a
video.
Kanye moment.
Yeah.
So that was dope.
That was kind of around Kanye that I wasn't wanting to pay attention to.
Right.
So, yeah, I love that song. I thought that was the best song off of the deluxe from the album. And I know we used it for the intro and stuff, but that one with King Von, the more I listen to it, the more I just love the song and just can't stop playing it after I hear it.
The newer one? Is it on the deluxe? I don't know.
Still Trapping.
Oh,
okay,
that's just hard. Yeah, it's hard.
After I listen to it, I go do the dishes and play that joint in my head, nonstop.
The hook's just so hard. Yeah. So,
and I really liked the Black and Young Thug song the first time I'd heard it.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of bangers on there. A lot of respect for Durk. Most recently, but before I was not a fan.
Yeah, how long ago was it that you really were not interested?
It was beginning of last year.
Before this album, I had no
interest, but you seemed like you actively didn't like it.
Yeah,
is that wrong? No,
you didn't. Okay. Yeah, I didn't like Lil Durk at all. But,
because the album we dropped at the beginning of last year was hard too.
3-Headed Goat was his song, right?
Yeah.
That song was hard. I think that was the first time that I was like, okay. I mean, he has some ability. And then after the feature on Drake's song, right?
Yeah.
And then him and Drake together, I was like, all right. He's solid. He's solid.
Yeah, I mean that's I guess when my thoughts about him kind of turned around with the Drake feature. I fucked with that shit heavy.
So it wasn't the Lyric Lemonade. No, it was the Drake feature.
Interesting.
No, I'm just saying.
Traps turned you up.
Traps. That's completely different. Because it is because I said at the end of my argument is that it's different if you hop on a Drake song versus if he hops on your song. I wouldn't have gave a fuck if Drake was on a Lil Durk song. I may have not even listened to it, even though I'm a Drake fan.
Now you just lying. You would have listened.
No, I just said that scenario. Can y'all vouch that I just said that?
I'm saying you say you wouldn't listen to it if it was a Durk song.
I probably wouldn't have. That's what I'm saying. I don't like Durk, so I wouldn't listen to it necessarily.
Have you always tap danced this well?
Bro, I said this earlier, so what y'all saying is arbitrary right now.
No,
I love it when that happens. I love it when that happens.
What? And when I'm right again?
That fast, that fast, you went from acknowledge that I started listening to Durk because he got on the Drake song.
I said the scenario. I just said the scenario at the end. I just said that it's the difference between getting on a Drake song and then putting on Drake on your song. Because you don't listen to this certain artist and you're not gonna pull it up.
It's different.
Yeah, definitely.
Because most of the time, Drake has made people pop by hopping on their songs.
Agreed.
It's usually the other way around. It's not usually him putting them on his song.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's happened so many times before. Lil Baby, one of them, he hopped on a Lil Baby song.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's a good example.
Drake actively annoys me, but when I see him on a feature, I listen. When I probably listen more when he's on a feature, honestly. But
honestly, I mean, it has to be an artist that I like as well. It's not going to I'm not going to listen to the song unless the song is already ringing off.
Didn't you like that? What's that dude's name? Is it Young Blue or something like that? Blue.
Young Blue, yeah.
Didn't you like that joint?
I don't even know what song. I don't know what song you're talking about.
I don't know the name of it.
It's like a singing song. It's singing Drake.
Yeah. I mean, it may have came on my Spotify radio or something, but it's not something I look up to see.
I got you.
Yeah. So
Understood.
Any other music? We were talking about Kanye. You had said that we got insider information on the new album.
Oh yeah, Conway was on the JBP yesterday, and he was just dropping. They was asking him about his time in Wyoming recording with Ye. He said they recorded there for a little bit. He said it was kind of awkward because Ye was fully in Christian mode, so he didn't know how he's gonna get his shit off. Talking about what he talked about in his rap, so he was feeling awkward. He's like, I don't know how I'm gonna get this off. He said he ended up doing like 6 records. They ended up going to Calabasas and recording at Dre's crib or whatever. He said, if I'm more comfortable there, because he started seeing Ty Dolla $ign rolling up and Sparky was like, oh yeah, this is where I need to be. So he got in this mode, and apparently he dropped the name of Kanye's album, supposed to be called God's Country, with all them people that he was bringing through last year to be on the album. And he said it's not like the gospel albums that he's been putting out recently. It's like a real Ye album, but it's just no cussing, and but he got all the features of people that you want to hear on it. I'm like, oh shit,
that sounds fire.
This shit might be what I need from Ye. This is what I've been waiting
God's
for.
Country? That sounds like a Ye title.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah,
this is
what
great.
I've been waiting for.
It would have been Ye's country before.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And he used to think that was the same thing, but
it was almost Ye's country.
He did try.
Maybe it would have been if he won.
2024.
Once he lost, he's like, it's God's country.
Yeah. It's going to happen. You think if he does run, you think he'll bring the haircut back with all the fucking swirls and shit in it?
I think his presidential runs are over.
You don't think he going to try again?
No, I don't. Him
and Kim K.
I think it was an impulse situation. I think he truly believed and wanted to run or whatever, but I think it was like a caught up in the moment impulse. Let's do this. I think I can do it.
I mean, even though he had said it years before that he was. Remember, he had now saying people took it as a joke.
Yeah.
And then he actually really tried it this time.
And people took it as a joke.
Yeah, because he was late. Started late.
He started late. I think he could really do it one day.
He might try.
I think he could be better planned and like actually run a real campaign. Like, why not?
One thing I know, you can't put nothing past Ye.
He's got the money for it.
For sure. I think the amount of time that you have to put in to actually campaign for real would be the biggest.
It's almost like it's got to be to
prevent it from happening.
Yeah. You got
to be full time now.
Right.
Like, you can't be doing side projects. You can't be worrying about.
You don't think he's gonna drop an album while he's campaigning?
That would be a good campaign. So you
promo run.
Yeah, you put those two together. But I don't think you can be out worrying about clothes and trying to produce for other people while you're focusing on actually campaigning.
Fashion definitely
going to take it back. Well,
he'd be the first. Think about how dope it'd be when he released the President Yeezys. That's gonna be fucking fire.
You start tacking it on, or after you get out of office, start running all the extra stuff. I don't know.
No, he should do that shit while he in office. Drop the fucking presidential Yeezys.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm not buying them.
You wouldn't buy a pair, bro?
Nah, I don't buy Yeezys because I'm not trying to fight for them. I'm not trying to pay for that amount. I maxed out on Jordans. That's my limit.
No, Yeezys and Jordans about the same price.
I thought they were more.
$220.
I thought they were more than that. I guess I only hear about the resale.
Only if you the resale.
I'm not like camping out though for Yeezys. If I wake up on Saturday morning, I hit refresh and they're sitting there available, I might buy them.
That won't happen. Yeah,
exactly.
That will not happen.
Nah, I'm good on it.
I've tried, I think 2 times to get them. I think I got on the website at like 1 minute too late, and it just wouldn't let me. Yeah,
everybody's got bots for that. You can't even.
Is that what it is? Is that why you can't do shit?
Yeah, for real. Those special releases.
That's mad annoying.
Internet bots to make sure that they're first in line.
Shit is rigged.
Yeah, you got to be a programmer or something to get that.
Or you got to have a personal plug that can get them for you.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, man, I gotta start because I just want a pair. You know,
which ones?
It really don't matter. I like.
I want a pair of new J. Cole Pumas. Them shits look hard.
The new ones.
I haven't even seen them, to be honest.
Pair. Them shits is hard.
The basketball shoes, right? I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah. People been playing in them. Marcus Smart. I think.
Well, that ain't good.
Kuzma.
He just went down.
Just all people that's already wearing Pumas.
Okay, yeah. Right. Gotcha. The LaMelo Ball. He signed Puma, right?
Is he? I don't know.
Didn't he sign a Puma deal?
I don't know.
I'm
pretty sure he signed a Puma at the beginning of the year.
Maybe he did.
Could be.
Yeah. Big deal.
Good move.
Yeah, he been balling.
He has been.
We got anything else on music?
Any other music? So I don't. There wasn't any other new music.
Street banger. I forgot to get my little plug thing.
Oh, really?
On my bags. We want to pause and come back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you got it with me.
Start. Yeah. I don't know.
So please.
You said you got a street banger for us.
I know I keep my ear to the streets for the street certified joints out here. I got this new banger that I came across, and this shit is hard. And this dude named Lil Easy featuring G Herbo is called On the Come Up.
Lil Easy?
Yeah.
Like E?
I was like, oh, this shit hard.
Hey,
The beat goes stupid.
and this bitch still capping with Dan on, bro. Right now on the come up, don't even talking my shit because I know I come from the gutter since shots at your brother. Then I go pop out and all of this linen like I was a butler. How can you hate me? I'm coming from under. Lower to sleep, what the fuck is a cover? Now I pop out in ballistics, they runners, man, tell us I'm tweaking, I already fucked us. I was down bad, I know I done it all. I was serving the fiends like the Z's dissolve. So I got a problem, I'm making one call. I know your niggas be sliding it off. The bitch like an oven, I'm packing the heat, only eating with bitches when it's in the sheets. Run to the paper like I'm.
Yeah, I done bumping this jump past through there like, yo, this shit going crazy for real.
That does sound hard.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. You know, that's right up my alley.
Is the other dude good?
With G Herbo?
That was Herbo, wasn't it?
That was
No.
real easy.
No,
The new dude.
no.
G Herbo on the end.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really fuck with Herbo like that.
He
He
sound
killed
like
it too.
that's a Chicago rapper
I think he is.
Must sound like a Chicago
most
rapper.
likely. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I was like, that shit.
I like
banger.
that. That's cool. That's
Banger,
dope.
banger.
Need a new Polo G album, by the way, but hopefully that's coming.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
need that.
he didn't even drop he been on some features and shit, but I didn't.
I think it's time for him to have his moment.
Probably
the time.
coming soon.
Yeah, he's. I guess like that second tier. Or,
Yeah, he been buzzing for a little bit.
Maybe
it's
the
time for him
third
to have that album,
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that
yeah.
record. It's
Probably
like,
the third
okay,
right now.
he here now.
Yeah, he's nice. I fuck with Polo G, so maybe we'll get something. I like the last album, but it's not something that's like
I liked it a lot.
I don't
Value.
think it's his best work. Yeah.
That was the one that put me on. I actually don't know the ones before that. So.
I mean, I think he can do better. Put it that way.
Gotcha.
So we'll see what happens. What he has in store for us.
We shall see.
So the last music thing we had is old TIP
Damn,
in
tipping
the
time.
news. Bad news, at least for right now.
That shit's sad, man. It's terrible.
I really haven't paid much attention to any of it. So if one of y'all want to fill me in or fill us in on where we stand currently, what's going on, that would be
I
fantastic.
don't know exactly. I just kind of saw the headline. I think I was scrolling down my timeline and somebody had like said some shit. Like when you see what's going on and what they're saying about Tippin and Tiny, and they had the emojis with the big eyes and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is happening? And I Googled it real quick, and it's like Tiny and T.I. are sexual assault allegations and sex trafficking, all of this shit. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on? And then apparently, I guess some lady they used to be friends with or that worked for them, something like that.
Fucking.
Went on IG Live and made a bunch of accusations about things they've done to women and blah blah blah, all of this shit. And then apparently there's been some women that came out to confess their stories and stuff like that in different scenarios.
See, I don't like that shit. I think we've seen that a few times before, where it's like people make like anonymous stories adding on to a situation, and they all like around the same realm of a situation, and you don't know who it is because it's anonymous. Mm-hmm. We've seen that a few times. And
were they anonymous though? I thought it was on Twitter.
No, they was like people was sending stories in. I don't want to show my name. I'm using the fake page to say this. I was reading a few of them.
Wow.
I'm using the fake page to do this because I want people to know my name. But yeah, I had a situation like this too, and they all was stemming around the same type of shit. Paid them to do something. They did drugs. Forced them to do drugs and stuff like that. It's like. So all y'all, nobody pressed charges? Nobody went to the police? It's like all y'all was just sat on this?
You say that, but you don't feel the same way when it's R. Kelly. Or
What you mean?
when it was Bill Cosby.
I'm
just saying,
you're not doing this again.
You say that
We're
now,
not doing this again.
That's how you feel about T.I.
Those
because you
were
like
anonymous
T.I.
people, though. There was actual people that we
But
seen.
nobody pressed charges. It's the same thing. None of them press charges. So I'm saying, it's not the same. It's not the exact same
thing.
energy that you having though.
No, it's because it's not the same situation.
It's still an allegation. That's all these are necessarily. I mean, Bill Cosby's convicted, but these guys
you talking about are in prison and have had charges on them. What are you talking about?
I mean, R. Kelly hasn't been convicted of anything, but of course, Bill Cosby has at this point. But I mean, before that, it was all allegations. The woman hadn't said anything to the police for 30 years about it. What I'm saying, all I'm saying is that you don't. It's not necessarily the same
I'm
energy.
Specifically,
towards
when it's like a Twitter thread or an IG thread, where it's just anonymous people sending in stories that all correlate around the same type of situation. So
I
it's
thought
like,
some women put their face on it though. It was one woman who went live about it on IG.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was one chick that went live about it, but she said she never met up with him, but she just thought it was. I mean, I guess it really wasn't an allegation, but she just thought it was like kind of weird the way that they were trying to set her up because they weren't really telling her what was going to happen when she got there or whatever. So she never came. So she was saying like, I can see how these women's stories are like convincing or
See, and that's so vague to me.
Right. I mean, it's not to say that anything actually
in a
happened.
situation, but you felt like it might have. I can see how that could happen, but you didn't happen to you. So why are you talking?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if all the stories are anonymous or not. If they are, then of course that's a red flag. But I've seen some people come out and say that such and such happened, or they've had these interactions.
Well, Tip addressed it. He went live and addressed it immediately that day that all the shit came out. Spoke for about like 10, 15 minutes, stating his case, denying everything that happened.
I think he usually sounds fake smart, to be honest with you. But I thought in that video that he really did.
He sounded like he knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah, he really seemed confident in what he was saying.
Yeah.
He really backed off in situations where I feel like
He
some
was
people
smart.
have
He
kind
cussed
of
about
gone
it.
on attack.
Yeah.
And he really, I thought he did a really good job addressing it. I'm not going full into R. Kelly discussion on this again.
I'm just saying.
In my personal opinion, R. Kelly, they had enough evidence to me that lined up that I 100% believe that he is guilty. When we had the discussion on, don't know why I'm going blank on his name, Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
When we talked about that on the podcast, they had enough information that led me to believe that he was guilty. Whether or not there was an actual rape or whatever, they clearly had evidence that he was a creepy fucking weirdo.
Right.
And I said that was enough for me at that point in time. Bieber got accused shortly after that, and he pulled receipts that proved it was wrong.
Justin Bieber?
Yeah. It was shortly after it happened.
Yeah, I think he did.
It died quickly.
He killed it quick.
Yeah, because he had receipts
shit.
that he wasn't even at this location kind of thing.
Yeah.
Damn, Bieber
So,
got a fucking
I
allegation.
do prefer to give the benefit of the doubt initially until there's more information that can push it one way or the other. In this case, I don't have an opinion. I mean, we don't know anything right now.
Right.
One thing that I will say, I don't know if a lot of people agree with this, but there is a correlation with when you say certain things about women or treat women a certain way. Like, you can kind of say rap lyrics or just rap lyrics or whatever, but like there's been songs of T.I.'s that I've liked before, and he'll just say something wild like put the bitch on her knees, skeet in her face, kick her out the door kind of thing. Like, I'm not saying that he's raping women because of this.
That's rap shit.
But I think there's a correlation between if you say those things, you at least have a side of you that thinks that women can just be there to get fucked and go home. So
I mean, some of
that's what they there for.
I think it puts
Some of them are literally there for just that, though.
It is what it is. If that's something that you believe in, then that's fine. I'm just saying, if that's something that you're okay with, I could see where you get to a point where something crosses the line. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't mean he's guilty.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say that. It's not like unfathomable or whatever. Like these things definitely could have happened. Like for sure. They're not saying that like T.I. is chaining women up in his basement and
right.
Got like a fucking dungeon or something like.
But at the same time, he's saying they was forcing him to do all this shit, which is kind of like, all right, like I don't know. You just need more evidence, I believe.
I agree.
I mean, definitely. And that's why I wouldn't sit here and say that, T.I. is guilty of anything. But it's just, certainly a bad look and something that he's got to spend some time cleaning up.
When there's, like, I guess a famous celebrity or somebody that's, fairly good looking and have a good situation or whatever, making a lot of money, that they have a hard time getting females to do what they want them to do or to do what they need them to do.
It actually happens, though. Like, it's real. Like Darren Sharp. Or Sharper, whatever the fuck his name is.
It has happened in some instances.
He was raping bitches.
I don't think it's like the majority. Like all the celebrities that are good looking are having to finesse women to do shit for them or do things for them in that order. Like It shouldn't be that difficult.
But I'm just saying, like, that's how you know all of them. Just that one example alone. Like, some people are just fucked up.
Yeah,
to where this is what they get their kicks out of.
I think it's a minority, though. It shouldn't be slated over everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Agree that it's not many, but I think with people that do stuff like that, because I agree with you, it's not like they couldn't find people if they wanted to. People that are into abuse, sexual abuse, or rape type situations, a lot of that is power related.
Right.
So it's not even even if I could get this girl, maybe I want to do it in a way like
something mentally wrong with you. This is what you like. You know what I'm saying? It has zero to do with the ability or the how accessible this is to you. This is the thing that you like to do.
There's a turn on to the rating.
Use their power dynamic over somebody to make somebody want to do something. Yeah,
so that's what it's all about. And like I said, it's a likely scenario. But do I believe it? No.
I prefer to say fathomable. Likely scenario.
Well, I mean, just for anybody, I think,
it could happen.
Not necessarily just likely for T.I. or just any rich famous couple. Like, this could be happening if these are the things they're into. Like, we know it's leaked for years about the kind of things that they're into in their bedroom or whatever. Blah blah blah. Okay. So, the rest of it is like, okay, it's possible it could happen, especially when you know what goes on in Hollywood to begin with, or the stories that you heard anyway.
Regular folks have an issue with that already, like married couples bringing in people in their bedroom and stuff like that. People just feel a way about that anyway.
Right.
So it is what it is.
Yeah,
people do what they want to do in their bedroom.
Shit happens. I mean, like I said, I don't really think it's going to go much further than it has. But
I mean, allegedly, T.I. said the girl that started all this stuff has tried to do this before in the past, bring a situation up and try to bring them down and make them look bad, and it was unsuccessful. He said he had receipts for that, but
that should play out well in his favor if that is the case,
right?
For sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's just a terrible look, honestly.
Of course, it's always a terrible look when they say you
can lose some money like that. Yeah, right. So we'll see.
Trafficking? Is it trafficking too? Trafficking?
Well, I honestly didn't see
when they say stuff like that. Yeah, when they say stuff like that, it was this one story of this girl who was saying that, she was there with T.I. and Tiny, and they had her on a whole bunch of drugs. It's like she took Molly or something like that, and she saw Tiny do some coke, and apparently some shit happened between them that she don't really remember, but she woke up in between their friends instead. Like, that's also a couple. Gotcha. So that's what the sex trafficking thing is, to say like they passed her off to them, blah blah blah. So
gotcha.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, we should keep moving so we get these sports stuff in, but we can keep it somewhat related, just fucked up situations, but more evidence than T.I.'s situation.
Much more, yeah.
His old piece of shit, Chad Wheeler, formerly offensive lineman for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
From what I've read, I've looked into this one quite a bit. It sounds like last Friday.
Yeah.
I guess not the one before you're listening, but 2 Fridays ago is when they had an incident at home where he just beat the shit out of his girlfriend. And I guess was choking her out. Sounded like she went unconscious at some point in time.
Yeah, definitely. He dislocated her shoulder or some shit like that.
Goodness gracious. They show the pictures and her face is all torn up.
Looks completely different, yeah.
Then she locked herself in the bathroom to call 911, and I guess he picked the lock. From what I read, he didn't continue to beat on her after that. Once he picked the lock, I think he was trying to get her to not call the cops and stuff. I'm apologizing and all this kind of thing. But cops come, he's arrested for felony domestic violence. And I believe that, and not kidnapping, but holding somebody against their will was the other charge.
Yeah, abduction or whatever, shit like that. But no, it should be attempted murder, first of all, because she said that she was laying there unconscious, and once she got up to run towards the bathroom, he said "Oh, you're alive" or some shit like that, while he was eating and drinking a smoothie. He was completely calm about the fact that he had beat the shit out of her, and that she was laying there, what he thought to be dead, right next to him, and he was enjoying a meal. It's just a fucking wild story.
It's like one of them CTE stories.
No. I don't know if it's necessarily CTE related because
I'm saying we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, he's
related to that.
They said in college, he had an episode where he was locked in a room with a female friend, and she had to call the cops on him because he was in the room like throwing punches at the wall and just like going completely nuts and crazy. He has medication that he's supposed to be taking.
Tasered and stuff. I believe at that.
Right. They had to tase him and stuff.
Tasered, and I believe they were saying like it just did nothing. Like it sounds like he loses it and is Nobody can stop him. Nobody can stop him at that point.
Right. And imagine that. I mean, you're an NFL lineman versus a
300
woman.
pounds at least.
You go against
probably 6'4",
right. You go against grown men. You wrestle and fight with grown men all day. Right. So it's like this is maybe 140-pound woman at the most.
If that,
right.
At the most. So it's like. I don't know. I don't even know how you can. Something has to be mentally wrong with you at that point, especially the way. I don't care what she did to you.
Right. Didn't need to have that response.
Well, did you mention bipolar? I think you just.
Yeah, I mean, apparently he was off of his medication.
I had read that he was bipolar, but like that's a situation that.
That's not an excuse.
If you know that you're bipolar, you can't not take your medicine.
That's not an excuse.
That's not something. At that point in time, you should be accountable for anything that happens after you stop taking your medicine, because you know that there's a way to control this mental illness, whatever you want to call. I mean, it's not quotations. It's a mental illness, but you have a way to control it, and you're not. Anything after that, you got to be accountable for.
Which is a common issue with people that have bipolar, not taking their medicine and shit.
They say Kanye has that problem regularly.
It's different. I'm fine with you. If you're bipolar and you don't want to take your medicine for certain reasons, I'm fine with that, but not in his case. If you're bipolar and you know you get violent, then you need to be on your medicine. There is no excuse, especially for an adult.
Right.
If you're a child, then I can see that. You're supposed to be having somebody to be responsible for these things for you because you may forget. But you're an adult. You're a grown man making millions of dollars. So you're responsible enough, or at least should be at this point, to be able to at least take a pill or two per day, whatever is prescribed to you.
Yeah.
And knowing what the effects could be if you don't do these things. So
I think it's possible that you'll see the attempted murder charge. It could be added afterwards if during the investigation part. I think if they believe that is a strong enough case for that. Or it could also be that it wasn't brought up because they don't think that aspect has a strong enough case. But the felony domestic violence, it was whatever like the highest degree is, supposedly has 8 to 12 year sentence time. So
see, when you see like police abuse and stuff like that, it's never in these situations. He should have been beat the fuck up as soon as they walked in the door. Like this is where it's supposed to happen.
If he's fighting back, then I'm with you. You can't just
beat him up.
Whooping his ass.
Yeah, whoop his ass. I think that's how that should be handled. He
definitely deserves his ass to be whooped for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Just say fuck it. He threw a punch. Nobody knows.
Right.
Turn your body cameras off and do
Walked in on him. He was trying to attack her.
Right. Beat the shit out of him. Make up a story. This is what you do all the time when it's a nigga and he's not doing nothing like this anyway. So why not? You know what I'm saying? That's how I think it should be handled. I think that's justice in my world. If this was a Carl Reign country.
Street justice situation. She need to call her uncles or people in her family come handle that.
I mean, I guess he's gonna be locked up now, but I hope he don't get like a bond or anything like that. Definitely doesn't deserve it.
I believe that's already happened.
He's probably out on bond already, right?
I believe they have him like on a house arrest.
I mean, you got to, because you can't.
Of course, restraining.
You can't expose that woman like that. You know what I'm saying? And really, I don't think he should have been released. But that's just me.
I hope she doesn't go back to him,
right?
Because that happens far too often with abuse situations.
Yeah,
they continue to go back afterwards.
Something this extreme, you would think it would not happen, but
you would think. I know people that you would think.
But I've never seen something this extreme though, where somebody beats you into inches of your life and then you go back to them. Like that's different from. None of it's all terrible, of course, and you shouldn't go back to anybody who abuses you. But this is an extreme circumstance to where anybody their mind would click to say, I can't fuck with this person, clearly, because you just never know what could happen.
Should.
That's what I would think. But.
Do y'all have any thoughts about that? From what I've been seeing, there is a really loud sentiment that
race?
he's getting the benefit of the doubt all the way around. And yeah, race has been one of the things that I've seen most brought up the most. Do you have thoughts on that?
I don't know if he's getting the benefit of the doubt. I think they press charges. They did what they're supposed to do. Everything is supposed to happen. But I don't know if it's like a race thing, because right now in the playoffs, we got guys that were alleged of situations right now. Tariq Hill in the Super Bowl, he had a situation where he beat on his son. Like, he used to beat his girl. Like, Kareem Hunt kicking that girl. He playing on the Browns.
Saying it's not like it wasn't something that was blasted on the media as much as when it happened with these players. But in fairness, what I would say is just that who the fuck cares about a guy like Chad Wheeler? I don't. This is my first time ever hearing about this loser. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I know
that's why I don't buy that much stock into that part of it.
Right.
So yeah.
I probably know the name of 7 offensive linemen in the league.
Right.
They're like the best of the best.
5 of them have played for the Panthers or do now.
Right.
I don't know any offensive line. I think
Facts.
you hit the nail on the head with the fact that he's not a star player is the reason it wasn't as big of a story. But even that part, when I was seeing a bunch of people saying that, I Googled his name and the top hits all pull up. SB Nation, ESPN, Yahoo Sports, Fox Sport, like everyone that you would expect to report on it did. Right. I felt like the race angle was a little bit clickbaity because that is such a hot button right now, particularly. As soon as you headline it, white player beats up black girlfriend, and then, my favorite, Jamel Hill, says it should have been a hate crime. A hate crime is it's specific to...
This is a domestic
you
situation.
only did this because of hating the opposite gender, sex, race, whatever it is.
Right. That's extreme.
If it's his girlfriend, I mean, it's terrible. But obviously he didn't hate her because she's black. They've been together for 8 months.
Right. Yeah, what are you talking about?
I hate that woman so much.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
She always takes it there.
Always, bro.
Only thing I would say is like... I guess the way that they flipped it in this situation is just that the fact that they even talk about mental illness. We won't necessarily bring that up to say why it happened for Ray Rice or why it happened for Greg Hardy. That's it. The why is never discussed with these players or was never discussed with those players. So I don't think it should be discussed for him either. To even throw that out there, who gives a fuck if he has mental illness, if this is something that he did? You know what I'm saying? We never got into the whys regarding those players. We shouldn't get into the whys regarding Chad Wheeler either. So I think that's probably the main difference. Is or the thing that I would take a problem with is that.
I think that makes the most sense. I wouldn't be mad at that take. In this case, I think it's relevant, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying, in that regard. Clearly, all of these guys have some kind of mental issue then. You get what I'm saying? Right. If this is what you like to do.
A normal person doesn't do this.
A normal person doesn't do this. So let's not talk about his because we didn't talk about theirs.
That's fair.
Or even bring it up to say, maybe they were taking some medication. Right. Greg Hardy certainly looked like he was on some shit. So this motherfucker's crazy for real.
Psycho.
You know what I'm saying?
Psycho.
Yeah. No doubt. But football's
get to the Super Bowl?
You want to get to the trade talk first, man?
It's up to you. I don't care.
I think because I think that's a little bit
Stafford.
Big.
You think Stafford is bigger than Super
Bowl? No. I'm just saying it's like more. It's more immediate though.
Those are the two that I had.
It just popped up. Matt Stafford
was good.
Traded. They gave up fucking everything for this dude. They give up 2 future first-round picks, this year's 3rd-round pick, and Jared Goff for Matt Stafford. So you
that's more than what the Texans asking for Deshaun.
Yeah, right.
Well, they want 3 firsts, don't they?
3 firsts, yeah. No, I guess it's kind of the same, but
no, it's 2 firsts, right? 2 firsts, a third, and Goff.
We'll get to
but they want 3 firsts for Deshaun.
We'll get to Deshaun in a second because there are updates there too. But so I know you hate giving up so many picks, especially first-round picks. The Rams have made it clear that they don't give a fuck about first-round picks
at all.
They've traded their last 5 or 6, I believe. I read
they haven't had a first-round pick in the last 5 years,
and they don't have one this year coming up. And now the 2 years after that. I thought it was a great trade for both teams. If they don't care about first round picks and they're looking to pick up already established good players, I think they were a really good football team this year.
Yeah, who they need? They don't need nobody to draft.
Yeah,
they just need a quarterback.
I think the jump between Goff to Stafford will be major for them, and I would expect them to be one of the NFC favorite teams coming into next year.
I think the way, if you can operate this way for sure, but when you do, would you make yourself, unless you find like some gems later in the rounds, you make yourself keep or continuously having to operate this way, because this is the way, the only way you can structure your football team at this point with good players. So I mean, I don't necessarily have a huge problem with it. I think it's too much to give up for Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is great and all, but he's shown he's not. And you don't necessarily need a quarterback that can carry a team, because Jared Goff definitely was never that. But Matthew Stafford hasn't shown that he's worth that much. He's a great quarterback as far as skill sets, but the Detroit Lions were always awful with him on there. I mean, and he's not necessarily been the most available player in his career either. I don't really know how much he's not played or anything like that, but I just feel like he's been hurt a lot. So
that line sucks.
I wouldn't have gave up that much for him, and I just feel like you gotta feel like straight shit if you're Jared Goff, right? You gotta feel like you're nothing.
The fact he went from what?
You gotta feel like you're Blake
St. Louis to be in LA, and now he's in cold ass Detroit. That's gotta suck.
Well, I mean, it's not even the fact that you're in Detroit. The trade shouldn't bother him as much. You kind of can like feel that coming. Maybe it's the fact that they gave up. They had to include 2 first rounders and a 3rd rounder just to make it interesting for them to get you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you would think like, oh, Jared Goff in the first would get the job done, right? But no, you got to give me another first. Then you got to give me a 3rd. Then
2 years ago,
and you got to give me the player.
Stat correction though on Stafford, he has been durable.
Oh, okay.
I just double checked. He missed 8 games in 2019, and those are the only games since 2010.
But it's a pretty serious injury this time around, right?
That was 2 years ago. He just played 16 games last year.
Oh, okay, well, hey, never mind. I guess
one season of.
I feel like he missed time for some reason, but maybe I just don't watch a lot of Lions football to begin with. So to me, he missed a lot of time.
Yeah,
because I didn't see him play.
Yeah, I thought it worked really well for the Lions. They end up getting like an NFL capable quarterback right away. And then the first round picks coming with a team that's already needing to rebuild anyway.
Oh, if you're the Lions, this is a great deal for you.
Yeah.
You've gotten your years out of Matthew. Your team is not going to get any better with Matthew Stafford. It's been 10 years now. Yep. Right, it's time to move on. And you get a fucking haul for him while he's still, you know what I'm saying? So, look, you get your, like I said, an NFL-capable quarterback. Now you get 2 future first-round picks. You could definitely build that. So you got, what, at least 2 first-round picks going into the next 2 drafts?
Yeah.
You should be just fine as long as your GM doesn't fuck it up. I mean,
hopefully Jared Goff likes eating kneecaps.
Yeah, right. That's what they'll be doing.
Apparently, the coach knew that Stafford would not be coming back when he took the job. I thought it was just
they said that early on that it was like a mutual agreement that they were looking for a trade to part ways. It benefits both of them. I just feel like the Rams is just at the point where, I mean, it's by any means necessary. I guess that's how they operate for sure. But at some point, I think it's just going to bite them in the ass because, I don't know. You're not building. You're building to win right now, and that's fine. That's completely fine because it's a year-to-year league anyway. But at some point, that shit is going to crash down, and your team is going to be stuck in a fucking rut, and you have no solutions or no resources to get yourself out of that because you won't have any first-round picks to even trade for good players, and then I don't know. You can't sign them all anyway. So
yeah. I agree. There's definitely going to be a back end price that they'll have to pay at some point.
For sure.
It's interesting. I thought it was a big deal.
Fucking D-Watt. What is he doing?
So
getting the fuck up out of there.
Watson officially requested the trade this week.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think was news at all.
They said he did it weeks ago. It just came out now.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Maybe they just didn't want that to be out before they hired the coach.
Texas trying to keep it in like, nah.
That's what I mean. He could have just said it himself too. I don't know why it wouldn't have come out. Until
Well, so they hired what was it, David Culley or whatever. Yeah, I think they do want to keep Deshaun Watson, but I also think they say that to drive up the price because they know they lack leverage in a situation where your player wants to leave. It's not like Matt Stafford where they come out and say, "Hey, this is a mutual agreement that we want to get out of the deal." But
that shit was 100% to try to get leverage. It's not going to work at all. Nobody believes him. I wouldn't think. There's no chance that he plays another game for the Texans. I respect the fact that you got to try to do everything you can to get leverage in the situation. Right. But there's no chance he's not going. I also saw something today where after the Stafford report, one of the Texans beat reporters or whatever said that their asking price would be at least 2 first-rounders and 2 starting defensive players. So I don't think that he just made that up. I mean, they clearly have a plan of what they're looking for. So you can't say we have a plan of what we want in a package and we're not interested in a trade. That was complete nonsense.
Right, exactly.
That was nonsense.
Exactly. Yeah, so we'll see how that works out. It'll be interesting to see what he goes for. I don't think he goes for as much as Matthew Stafford because it's a different dynamic. He should go for more.
How would he not? He's 25.
I think he should go for more. I don't think he will, but just because I don't think the Texans have the leverage.
Their lack of leverage.
Right.
What do you think?
So we'll see.
As far as what?
Do you think he goes for more or less than Stafford?
I think about the same. Around the same realm.
Hard to get much more.
Because I don't think anybody's going to give them a QB straight up unless it's just a draft pick.
That was part of any of the Panthers like potential trades. That was what we were offering, is Bridgewater and 2 to 3 top picks.
Right, and I don't think they would want to do that to get Bridgewater.
Well, I don't think they want Bridgewater either. He would be a bridge gap, if you will, for the 2 years that he has left, and then they're getting a real quarterback at that point. But
it's looking like the best situation is the Jets. That's what I sad to say. I wish he wouldn't, but
what are they picking in the draft?
They got the second pick of the draft.
No, what are the Texans picking? They're awful too.
They don't have them.
Oh, they don't fucking.
They don't have them.
He traded away
for Laramie Tunsil.
Right, I forgot they don't fucking have one.
Yeah. So they're not even doubling up on picks this year. They're looking to get one.
I was gonna say, they can gain some leverage, at least like organizationally, by saying, hey, we have like the number 4 overall pick. We could draft another quarterback with that. But
that's why the Dolphins are picking 3.
Right.
Or 3 or 4. It's the Texans pick.
They're picking 4th.
So if they didn't pick up Laramie Tunsil, they would have the pick and could just draft their own quarterback.
Such an awful scenario for the Texans.
They've been fucking up for a while.
Terrible scenario to be in.
So you think the Jets are the best situation? I mean, as the number 2 pick, it's hard to say that they're not the best situation. As we were talking about earlier in the week, I don't have as much of a concern about their leverage because I think the demand for Watson is too high. I think even if teams try to pretend like they're going to back off for the next 2 to 3 months before stuff. When's the draft? The draft is June?
No, April.
April? Is it really? Okay.
It's the normal one.
So the next 2.5 months before the draft, if teams kind of go cold shoulder to try to drive the price down, right before the draft, there's going to be at least 2 to 3 teams that are like, I mean, we've held out for a while now. Yeah. If we can get Watson, make the fucking deal.
Somebody's going to offer 2 ones, for sure.
I agree.
That's baseline. I agree. Yeah. Somebody will say, hey, we'll at least give you this, and we'll see if we can work out something from there. So, it's going to happen. It'll probably transpire pretty soon.
It's going down.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes, man. It is hard for me not to just wish that we get them so badly. At the same time, if we could land one of those top quarterbacks in the draft and not have to give up a bunch of picks, that would be really cool too. But, man, the threat of Watson, McCaffrey, DJ Moore.
Sounds beautiful.
Give me that. We got to get to this Super Bowl.
I heard fucking J.J. Watt trying to leave too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
he's
that.
out of there.
He said he want to get out of there.
He doesn't have to worry about getting traded. J.J. Watt is for sure getting released.
Right.
This year. He doesn't. He's going somewhere else this season.
Why is that?
There's too much money. They can't
is he a
afford
big
it.
cap hit?
Yeah, he's a big cap hit, and then it's going to be a lot of veteran players that are kind of still decent that get released because of their cap hit,
right?
And because it's going down in the NFL, so GM's going to have to make some tough decisions, regarding some guys.
Get him out.
That's a good point.
He's for sure gone. He wants to leave, and it doesn't benefit the Texans to have him anymore.
It's another terrible look for them, though, because that's the other face of the franchise.
You don't have any.
Both faces of the franchise are asking to leave.
Yeah.
You don't have any identity going forward. Yeah,
all of them gone. Wiped out.
And then the previous faces of the franchise all are shitting on the team.
Andre Johnson,
Andre and DeAndre. Both of them talk about how terrible Houston is. I mean, it's just a tough situation. Good luck landing free agents right now.
At least they bring in some good players. It's just that they don't really, finish their. I guess J.J. Watt's the only one who did the bulk of his career there.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it turns out.
Speaking of D-Hop, did y'all see any of that versus battle?
I didn't watch any of it.
It was kind of entertaining. Him and Ramsey had a versus battle, and they was talking shit to each other the whole time. It was pretty good. Pretty entertaining.
I had less than zero interest in any of it, but I might try to find a little clip of them talking junk. See if somebody gets a highlight put together, a 5-minute video.
I see they brought in Dion. They had to bring in Dion to make
He was in all of them, yeah.
Yeah, so some kind of interesting.
Okay.
A little smart, because, this is the guy you want.
I saw Vic and Deshaun.
Yeah,
which I thought was an odd pairing.
Very odd.
It was odd.
Why not Vic and Lamar if you're going to do it?
Yeah. But
who knows?
I don't get that.
Because Deshaun is already a part of the little Madden Pro Bowl thing they're doing, so maybe they just figured he's a hot guy right now. Might as well have him on that too.
Lamar's hanging out with Kodak. Watts is free right now.
Yeah, I guess so. Sniper gang. Big Z, you know what I'm saying?
We got like 15, 20 minutes left here. Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. Chiefs Bucks. Going down.
This week off sucks so bad. I wish we were watching it tonight. We got another week to wait now.
Gotta wait it out. It's going down.
What are your thoughts? I mean, are we expecting a good game, a close game?
I think the end score will be close. But I just don't know, man. It really depends. I don't see the Bucks. The Bucks defense has really been the catalyst for them at this point. They like them generating turnovers and things like that. Putting them on short fields has really helped them get to this point. So I don't see them being able to do that to Patrick Mahomes as much, but I didn't really see him being able to do that to Aaron Rodgers either, not in the playoff game. So, and this shit kind of still happened. But one thing that I know for sure, I think the last game against them told us that is that they won't have an answer for Tyreek Hill at all. At some point, he's going to get off. You're probably looking at 150 yards. I think what do you have, like 175 or 200 yards in the first half of the game? Yeah, remember he didn't really catch a ball in the second half.
I didn't remember.
They scored 27 points in the first half, and I think or 24 points, something like that. The final score was 27-24. Tyreek Hill finished with like 200 and something yards, but I'm pretty sure he had like 185 or something like that in the first half. Yeah, it had some crazy numbers. They couldn't cover him at all in the first half. I'm sure they have a better plan, but he should at least get half of what he got the first time around. And if you do have a plan to then try to stop Tyreek Hill, you don't have a plan to stop Travis Kelce then. So you can't do both.
Like I said before, you're not going to stop those guys, the receivers. You got to get to Mahomes. That's the only way you can put the Chiefs in check is if you get to Mahomes.
And the Chiefs are in trouble in that area.
And that's their strength. Yeah, that's Tampa's strength. I agree with you. That's the only way that they're going to slow them down at all.
But Mahomes is so good at getting out of trouble, right? I mean,
he's playing with a bum toe a little bit, so he's not as...
But he's had so much time off.
Did you see what the Jets coach said? The new Jets coach, Selah, or however you say his name? He said something about, don't let Mahomes fool you with that old grandpa walk in between plays like he's hurt. Said something about like him limping around in between plays.
He was putting it on a little extra.
Mahomes retweeted it and was laughing about it, but it was funny. I definitely noticed that.
That's a strategy.
I used to notice that with Cam.
Yeah.
In between every play, it looked like they might not be able to make it to play the next game.
Right.
And then the next play they take off, hit 4 or 5 defenders, juking mad people out.
It's a good play. I think
Jim Brown used to do that.
I'm about to say one old running back used to
he used to do
was
that.
super tired. Then you take it to the house on the next play.
Yeah, he said he used to lay on the ground for an extra second or two to make it seem
hilarious.
like he was out of gas.
Yeah.
And it's like psychological because people will be like, "Oh well, he don't have that extra step. I
And
might
then let
take
up a little bit.
right. I might get let up a little bit, and then he'll just turn it on.
House it on him.
He did that after. He said after every run play, he got up slow.
That's wild.
It's a smart move. Smart move. I ain't mad at it.
Do you think they get to him? Do you think they get to Mahomes? Do you think
I
they
have
slow down
no
the
idea.
offense at all?
I have no idea. I know it's what they need to do, but I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it. But I mean, I think I seen a take the other day. If Brady wins this Super Bowl,
Stephen A. said this.
I think it was
It
Stephen A.
was. I saw it.
If Brady wins this Super Bowl, would that eliminate Mahomes from ever being the GOAT if he lost to the GOAT twice in the playoffs and lost a ring to him?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It just really depends on because he got so much of his career left.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say that at this point.
What
no.
if he rattles off 9 Super Bowls?
Right,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
He got
but
so
what
much
if?
of his career left that I don't think this one moment is gonna matter. It's I don't know. I guess
if he
he'll
never
put him
gets
on
close
another
to-
level if he does
If he
win. Of
wins
course.
7, if Mahomes never gets close to 7, how can he ever be the GOAT?
Well, it won't be.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's highly unlikely he will win that many Super Bowls. Or 6
That's
Super
what I'm
Bowls.
saying. It's not like a.
If he gets to like a 5-0, to me, that's where you can start having comparisons versus I guess you're saying if he loses it, at that point he's got 1 loss.
Right.
So it'd have to be like 6-1 to Brady's 7-3 for me to think that there's a comparison. Up until that point, you're not catching him.
Right.
But I mean, we kind of touched on it last week. I think it does more to help Brady. It elevates Brady even higher than he already is if he beats Mahomes as well.
Right.
I don't think it does much damage to Mahomes just because he's been so dominant, so young, and has such a bright future.
True.
But depending on how the rest of his career goes, if he never makes it back, then it's a whole different story.
Definitely. I thought that was an interesting take.
Yeah, it's a Stephen A. take.
Definitely.
Very Stephen A. take.
Yeah.
If Brady wins, we definitely got to think of another word than GOAT. There's got to be another word. We got
Goat gets thrown around a bit too
Yeah,
much
because
now.
everybody gets the GOAT thrown around. We got to change the whole word up if he gets that 7th ring.
I don't think he needs it. At this point,
shouldn't.
him and Jordan are in a category amongst themselves of team athletes, in my opinion.
Right.
And then, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a whole bunch of names, but LeBron is in the one right below it. Kobe's right below it. There's a handful, but GOAT, actually the greatest. Those are the only two I think are even
They should
in
be
comparison.
Yeah,
Right.
recognized universally for sure.
True indeed.
Well, I keep with all the new gambling sites in Virginia, they're offering so many promotions to get in on and get you on the sites to bet.
Bro.
And I just keep taking all of them, and I keep taking all of my free bets
Really?
and putting more and more and more on the Chiefs. If they lose, I'm gonna be mad. But if they win, oh man, I'm gonna get a Brady loss. I'm gonna get paid. And I like Mahomes. I do. It's gonna be
You
glorious.
better put one of your bets on Brady just to be safe.
Nope.
Just to be safe.
No hedging. No
I'm not
hedging.
giving them really much of.
I'm in too deep to where what if I put 100 on Brady, it's not going to do anything. I'm
Right.
already in too far, like too many hundreds on Mahomes. So we're just riding.
I just really can't. I can't really see the Bucks winning though. I think they're gonna get outcoached more than anything. I think Andy Reid is the clear. They got the clear coaching advantage, and then the Bucks got weapons, but are their weapons better than what we see on the other side of the ball?
They're good.
Yeah, and then
Those
I
weapons
think
are
collectively the Chiefs' defense is better.
Very good.
On because they're good on the back end.
They've been getting after the quarterback a bit too.
Yeah. So I just feel like it's the Chiefs' game. It could get ugly, and that's anybody versus the Chiefs. It can't get ugly fast. So,
But the
At the
Chiefs,
same time, they haven't had an ugly win in about 8-9 weeks.
what you mean?
Like just like busting somebody's ass. I feel like all their games have been relatively close.
Most of the games they played been close this season.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
they ain't really been busting people's ass like they did last year.
Yeah.
Well, I'm already losing what happened last week. It's only been a week, but didn't they whoop up on the Bills?
They did.
38-24.
The Bills made
They
it
added
better.
some at the end.
Right, yeah.
The Bills made it a little bit better, yeah.
But other than that, they've been talking about that for weeks now, that they're not beating up on teams. But I think they just had flipped the switch, and then
they were beating up on the Browns until
that's true.
Mahomes went out. So
and the Andy Reid off of bye week stats will be all over the place.
Nuts.
They love giving that stat out.
But the Tampa Bay does have the thing that's never happened before in the Super Bowl, and that's home field advantage.
That's true.
And
we gonna have some fans there?
Do we know how many?
I would assume at least half capacity probably for the Super Bowl.
I don't know the number.
I would say about at least half capacity. I don't know exactly how many.
Probably be more than any other game.
More than what we've seen.
Yeah.
More than what we've seen.
Especially because Florida open.
Yeah, Florida wide open.
So yeah. Of course, they gonna.
Jags game has been all, like half capacity. I think all year.
22,000.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's more than I've seen in most games. A lot of games is like, 12,000 or 15,000 people mostly, or something like that.
That's true. I don't think it'll be a big deal, but it is.
It's a factor.
It sucks for them.
It's unknown.
It sucks for them that they get all the way to the Super Bowl, get to be the first team with the home field advantage, and you got 22,000 people there. Like, imagine if it was a real full Super Bowl and they've got a packed stadium. Then it's like, yo,
that's facts.
This is a little different.
Yeah,
that's facts.
It's different, but
How many Bucks fans can there be though in the world?
I know a few that's been riding for a long time.
For a long time, yeah.
I know one.
It's just kind of annoying now. I can't wait for them to go down.
You're the worst, EJ.
What?
The worst DJ?
I said you're the worst, EJ. I'm directing this. If you're listening,
it's a little annoying now.
I love you though, bro.
What do y'all think the scores?
All right, so I'm definitely taking the Chiefs, obviously, and I'm gonna go with. I mean, getting ridiculous seems stupid, so I'll go 34-24. Chiefs.
That's almost the exact score I was just thinking.
Yeah, I bet it was.
I was thinking 35. I was going to go 24, but I go 35-26.
How they getting the 26?
Chiefs. I don't fucking know. Shit happens. I don't know. Fucking field goals and a whole lot of shit.
I'm going to stick to my guns. Never bet against Brady. I think it'll come down to.
You don't sound confident at all of that shit.
Never bet against Brady. I mean, I've been saying it the same way, and he's been winning. So I think it'll come down to a last drive field goal kick to the win, and they'll win 28-25. No, 24.
Okay.
No, 25. Because it got to be 3, right?
Yeah.
I guess it don't have to be.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, right.
No, something like that. I think it'll come down to a field goal win then.
You have consistently said don't bet against Brady.
Right.
But I have to ask, will you bet on Brady?
I will.
Oh, really?
I'll make a lineup.
Will you with me?
I'll make no. See.
But, I mean, my thing is, though, I think every time we've seen Mahomes versus Brady, that
it's a battle.
It's definitely been a good game, but Mahomes has always really been the better, of course, the better quarterback on the field.
I don't remember.
And his team has really come out on top, except for that one time when they didn't get the ball back in overtime. So, and they're offsides away from winning. I'm just saying that's the only time that they beaten them, and that was because it had nothing to do with what Mahomes did. It was literally because of the offsides. And he didn't get the ball back.
True.
So I think, I give the advantage to the Chiefs. They know more information about Brady, I think, than the Bucks know about the Chiefs. So we'll see how it rolls, But I'm definitely riding heavy with the Chiefs. I can see it being a blowout early, and then the Bucks getting their way back in the game.
The Chiefs have a way of going down early.
They do. They really do.
Like, they just don't care at all. It's kind of disrespectful.
But as a fan watching it, you don't never feel like the Chiefs are in trouble, right?
No. You watch
I
will with all this money on it, but
yeah, I guess. But you never feel it's so fast. Like if they go down 13 points, okay, they score a touchdown, and you're just like, oh, here it comes. Right. They're about to pour it on at any second, and as soon it's like racing Usain Bolt or something like that. As soon as they get even with you, you might as well, you lost that race.
Right.
They're taking off, and
like
you're not catching up
the
at that
Warriors
point.
when they was at their height.
Right.
They would be down early in games, and it's like,
Nobody cares.
20-point deficit. That ain't shit.
And as soon as they start tracking the shit down, it's that DJ Metcalf shit. These within 10 yards of you, and it's over from that point. You know, there's nothing that you could do about it.
Too much firepower.
Yeah, so
I might get called a hater, but I did just pull up that 2018 playoff game that you're talking about that went to that was decided at the end, and y'all had 4 rushing touchdowns. Sony and Rex Burke had 4 touchdowns combined between the two of them. Brady threw for 350, touchdown and 2 picks, and Mahomes threw for 300, 3 touchdowns, no picks. But they got the dub, so.
Got the dub.
yeah, it was a tough game.
What a
but
game.
Got the dub.
Mahomes is definitely gonna get it done. Back-to-back championships.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to bet on him too. 3 touchdowns, I think we'll take, and I might want to get Brady at 2 picks. He's had 3 the last 2 games, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Each.
I thought he threw 3 last week.
He did. That's what I'm saying. 3 each the last 2 games. The Saints got him.
Oh, did he throw 3 in the Saints game?
Saints got him 3 times, I believe.
He did.
Or at
The
least
second half, he
twice.
played pretty bad.
That's a trend. It's an alarming trend.
That is a trend. You should trade stocks the way you read trends, my guy.
It's an alarming trend. We'll follow that and see if that persists.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Anything else? Oh, we got a couple of minutes if we want them. We're not super short right now or nothing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have
See
anything
what else
else
I had.
sports related.
Have y'all been enjoying that silhouette challenge here lately?
I've seen what you're talking about. I seen something that says like, man, you can't take these hoes nowhere. It's like even a kids app like TikTok now they get naked on
took
it.
it over. They
It's all
took
the
it
same
over.
thing.
Why?
That's all.
Spread across all of them. Everybody
That's
get
all.
naked.
That's all. Every app is.
That's it. That's it. And look, it's cool.
It does seem worse on TikTok though, since like it initially was supposed to be like
It's a
more kids app.
It's not though at all.
I mean, that's how all of them really started. It was for the younger people.
Yeah.
Like Facebook even started for younger people, but old people took that shit over.
Yeah, I thought of those as like college kids though.
Right,
I think of TikTok I think immediately like middle
Like
school
little kids,
Yeah, I think middle school immediately.
It could be dangerous, out there for a child on TikTok. You get stuck on a video for a while. Like I don't know. I mean, those are cool.
I saw one that Freddie Gibbs shared today that it was like an older woman. As soon as it starts, the music starts going a little bit, and she like tried to step back and like put her hands up and stuff and hit the shit out of the fan.
Wow. That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
I've seen a few of them though. Yeah.
I ain't got too much else. Oh yeah, Roddy. See, Roddy's the box record. It's 8 times platinum now.
That's wild.
Ridiculous.
I mean, that's close to.
It is ridiculous.
And I guess we see why he ain't even putting out no music like that. He's still riding off the box.
I was about to say, no,
That's gonna be a hot song
ridiculous
for the rest of his life.
Not putting out music at all. That's ridiculous. What the hell, man?
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Get out of here, bro. We need something.
Yeah, he need a drop. It's been too much time.
I think he will soon. No
Got
worries
to go
there.
down.
No worries there. But no, I didn't have anything else, especially nothing sports related.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Same here.
That's all I got.
Want to get into some samples? Y'all got samples?
We'll get these samples. We're going to
got
close
samples.
out here for the YouTube. We appreciate y'all listening. Episode 85.
Deuces.
Peace.
Peace.